Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This game is just keeping me so busy. I just love it. So in the last episode, we started out this little town construction over here, and I have received some name suggestions, but I'm not quite going to name it just yet. If anybody else still thinks there's some interesting ideas with regards to names for this lakeside town, well, high density city actually next to the port, that would be a good idea. So please leave them in the comments down below. I am experiencing a little bit of an issue with the sound. If you can, there's a bit of a bubbling sound going on. If I go into the sound settings and I reduce the music volume, all right. So if I take that down, the music volume, that humming with some bubbling sounds. Is running all the time, and I think it's one of these refineries is the sound effect for that refinery, but I think that's what it is, but it just never does, it never goes away, regardless of whether I move away, whether I click on something else. I mean, the other guys' stuff comes in, but that sound never goes away. So what I was thinking is I'm probably gonna keep the music on a little bit, but what I'll probably do is reduce that sound a little bit. If you know, I've restarted it a few times to see if that helps. But if you know of any way to get rid of that, I'm not quite wanting the rest of this game playthrough to have that in the background. Okay, so in between episodes, I did two things. I did allocate some heating pipes over here just to make sure we've got some heating pipes, and I kind of started thinking this city can grow into this direction if we curve the rail appropriately and go this way. The city can run into this direction, and we could even do maybe another airport somewhere out here, and we can do our aluminum industry, or more the airplane industry, really. And I was thinking, it seems like the new update is not too far away, next couple of weeks maybe, in which case we might have to start building our own helicopters. And so I might start wanting to start getting ready for some of that construction over here somewhere. The other thing that I was thinking, we could, the wireframe shows this is a little bit extreme over here, but we could run the rail in a tunnel straight through here and join up with what will be the motorway and the rail connection that's coming through this section towards the border. So that's something that we could do. I'm quite keen. Maybe that will be a good idea for us to leave a bit of room for the rail, and then we just run a double section of rail through here as through a tunnel. That would be quite interesting. The other suggestion I had in the comments was that maybe we should do a little bit of a localized tram in this area, and I kind of agree. If we can take out a line somewhere over there and maybe run it over there. I'm not sure we'll loop it. I don't think there's room to loop it all the way around. I don't think is useful because we won't be building all the way around. But we might just do a little spur down here, so that anything we do build out here does have a pretty decent connection to anything up here. I think that could work. And similarly, we can run a separate one, or we can connect it across the top or something, and run that into this area. I was also thinking we probably need to have room for one of these roads to go to bridge over this. So with all these kind of pipes and stuff in the way, it's gonna start to become a bit of a challenge to bridge into this direction. I was wondering, maybe over here, what we can do is we can pull this back, and we can bridge this guy over the top, but then we'll just have to drop down that heating pipe over there. Stuff like that is what I'm thinking from an infrastructure point of view. Now, what I did go and do is I believe I've resolved the worst of the escapes. I believe so. We might have to have it's not as bad as it used to be. I believe it's dropping pretty badly. If we go last month, wow, interesting, but it's been pretty bad. To be honest. The escapes has been pretty bad. This month, I want to keep an eye on it. I think I've resolved the clothing now. So if you go in here, you will find that everybody has as clothing available to everybody's heart's content. So these guys that's moved in here, and I think I filled these up again. They should all have access to clothing for the most part. At least 3 out of 160 is just probably didn't have it there when they arrived. So I think that's been the result. If I have a quick another look at the heating situation, this should all be good. 24 degrees. 24 degrees. It doesn't even move. Which is awesome. I like that. So there shouldn't be a heating problem. I think I've got a bit of a heating problem in this area. Yeah, it gets a little cool, chilly in this area, but not too bad. The rest of Irinsky, I think, is constant at 24 at the moment. Yeah, it's just this little section here that drops off a little bit, and that just doesn't go too low. Does not go too low. 18 degrees is the coolest here, which is not great. So we might have to do a little something about this area here. If we go to Morgan Valley over here, everything's running at a nice toasty 24 degrees. Dropping off a little bit over here maybe. Oh, these guys don't have heating. Oh, interesting. So the kind of barrack style houses that I started the game with doesn't have heating. But I think this is fairly constant all the way. So I don't think heating is our issue anymore. But clothing certainly is. If we have a look at our clothing availability, I think that's a pretty poor number right over there. So let's quickly go around the map and just have a quick look at clothing and where we have clothing available. Oh, are we out of clothing over here? Oh, that's quite interesting. So these guys don't have access to clothing. So they might also want to start leaving if they can't get any clothing. Wow, this is really empty, isn't it? Wow, there's almost nothing here. Where do you get your clothing from? The Morgan Valley Small Distribution, okay. And you pick up clothing where exactly? CP Dandelion Reserve Station is where you pick up clothing. Okay, so it's the CP Dandelion Reserve Station. It's a little bit of a convoluted process of coming in here. So the CP Dandelion, where is this? It's the road station. So over here, you can see we've got room for clothing, but we don't have any clothing over here. So so the soft cost goods push should bring us clothing this way. Yeah, certainly does. From the huge, I don't think this guy collects clothing though. I don't think this guy collects clothing. It's certainly got room for clothing, but it doesn't have any clothing. I don't think we're dropping off clothing there anymore, and maybe that's part of the problem. Let me quickly fix this one. So it's a convoluted process to try and fix your distribution if something's gone wrong. We certainly have little bits of clothing available here. Now the question is, are we bringing clothing here in any way, shape or form? So if I go to this guy should have, that's the one, and then Chem and Fabric Distribution. I don't think we're actually pushing clothing over. Loading clothing reserve, and then unloading clothing where? It is in fact supposed to unload clothing there. Okay. The food and clothing reserve is this one. So it's picking up clothing from here and is supposed to be unloading clothing at the huge cargo station, which is this one here. But for some reason we're not seeing any clothing making its way there. So this guy, how many vehicles does this guy have? Of what variety do we have? We should have everything we need in terms of vehicles to allow that. Yeah, certainly has it. Certainly has it. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, that was in a vehicle trying to go and get it. Okay. So really, we're just not producing enough clothing over here. Just quickly have a look. We're not quite getting a full complement. We have fabric available, so really we should just get more people to come and work the clothing here. So okay, so there's a little bit of an issue with getting clothing up to Morgan Valley. I don't think we've got the same issue in Irinsky, but we may have the same issue in Irinsky. We've got a fair bit of clothing available over here. We've got a fair bit of clothing available over here and over there. Little amounts of clothing running around this way. We've got some clothing being dropped off over here. The train drops it off over here. Yeah, I think the issue is we're still picking up the clothing with the train directly from the one from where it's produced. Ooh, we're out of clothing over here. Okay, so we're gonna need to make sure that our clothing train. Hang on. So what I want to do is I want to flip open the clothing train. So let's pause the game for a second while we grab the clothing rail distribution, and then we say so it goes to the reserve. Okay, so instead of the big one here. So let's change that. Let's say instead of there. Well, actually, I see 3 combined cargo storage. Okay, let's just keep an eye on it. So it goes all the way over here and comes up here to Vraska warehouse where it fully loads. And then it goes back to IC3 combined station. Yeah. Then it comes back. It goes in there underneath through here. Goes there, and then it goes back all the way that way to pick up. Okay, that's fine. Let's maintain the current routing, but instead of going to the reserve, we'll actually go here. Okay, and here you will be picking up clothing, please. And what we'll do is we'll get rid of that stop over there. So now it'll just come and load over here. I believe that's going to be much better. Okay, it won't clog up the system, and it won't be stood there for some time. And now that means that we should be able to get a bit of a surplus of clothing over here to actually get pushed that way. I think the train comes through too quickly, and it doesn't quite push it through. And we are now actually picking up clothing on the other side. Let's just open that one more time and have a quick look at that. So it comes there, then it goes to the combined, and then, well, it's just going to fill up on a couple of spots there instead. So let's leave it at that and see how that goes. I'm hoping we'll see a fair bit more clothing come through here now. But certainly I think this area is looking a fair bit better. So those were the rail connections. So we're going to have a little bit of an issue here. So what I thought I might quickly do just in the interim is I'm going to purchase a fair bit of clothing. You know what I can do? I can actually import clothing over here. So we've got an imports and exports. So if you're going the reserve station, the customs house, please pick up a little bit of clothing for us as well, and then just drop it off over here so that there's at least like let's make it 50% over there. Let's do that, so that now we'll bring in some clothing from the border to try and help that out just a little bit. I think we'll be fine. I think once we get all of these things running a little bit better, we'll be fine. Okay, another thing in the latest community update, which is where I kind of acknowledge that it's probably going to be fairly soon that we're going to see. I hate the fact that they're so close together, these guys. That we're probably going to see the update fairly soon. The next thing is what's going on here. Are these guys, what are they doing? Are they out of fuel? No. So why are they kind of just stood here? What's going on? So go back, buddy. That is weird. Right? The game's not paused, right? Go that way. Why are these guys stuck here? It really frustrates me that stuff like this happens. That's a problem. That is a bit of a problem. Honestly, I don't like it. We'll have to fix that as well. Okay, so in the community update, what they said is it's going to be pretty soon till the next update comes out, or the community report. But what they also did, they gave a bit of a teaser of what the next thing is that they're working on for the next update. Not for this update that's coming out now, but the update after that. Police. They've started putting in some police infrastructure, things like prisons, secret police, and even an orphanage, I think. So all kinds of interesting pieces that I think can really, just make the gameplay so much deeper. Okay, what we're going to do in this episode now, I'm going to try and squeeze in a little bit of a track for a tram connection. So let's see what we can do over here. I wouldn't mind running it straight through here, but it might not be able to go in there. So I might have to push this one back just a tad so that I can cross it over there, and then we'll see. I'm not going to grade separate these guys because really they're kind of tram infrastructure, right? So the idea is that we do a little something like this, and then we give it a little bit of a turn. We can maybe make it a little tighter, because for a tram it doesn't need to be that wide. So yeah, I'm thinking something like this. Yes, and now if we try and run this through here, I thought it probably wasn't going to work. So what we can do is I can remove the university. Remove the university and just this one as well, and push it back just a tad so that we can actually run something through there. So let's grab that, get the education, the technical universities, I believe what we've built here. And I think that, I don't have any power out here just yet, so I'll do that. That'll work. I'm going to give that its road connection back through there. I'm going to go ahead and commission that, even though nothing can be built at this stage. And now we'll be able to run through here. Yeah, quite comfortably. I think that's it. So that's going to be our tram connection through there. So now if I go to my modded section, should be able to get a bit of a tram stop right over here, so that all of these buildings can feed that tram stop. So modded platform station. I think I've got these ones, right? And what I think we should be doing is allowing for the bypass, actually. What do we have over here? All kinds of stuff, but I think we should grab one of these short ones. So this is basically the one that I have in mind for the tram. So I'm thinking something like that, and what we could do is we could still bypass it, right? Or we can do it this way around, so that can kind of just stay. Yeah, I think something like that. I think that is just about right. So we'll slot something like this in here, okay, and then we'll just kind of end it there, to be honest, until we further expand the town. So the two things that I want to do is try and run it. Shall I just run it straight through there? I think if we bear this in mind, we should be able to get some other stuff in there. Okay, so that's fine. And we could tie it off all the way back there. Yeah, something like that. Ooh, that doesn't want to work. Can we run it from this side? No, it doesn't want to do it. I don't like it. Come on. Yeah, there's some issues with some of these things, really. Come on. Now I can't even delete this little section. Okay, well what we'll do is we'll delete the platform as a whole, and then we'll try and wow, now we've got this thing stuck here. My goodness. I think what I need to do is maybe that. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Now, let's try that again. It's the mods, please. The mods, the platform. I could try it. Actually, this platform is a little bit, I feel almost a little bit more appropriate. Let's do that. Yeah, actually, let's do that as the platform. I don't mind trimming this. Wow, it's really problematic, doesn't it? So let's do that. Let's see if we can't. Come on, guys. Really? You're not gonna want. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh no! Really? Anyway, let's do that. We should be able to squeeze something in there now. Actually, going to go all the way to there. And then we'll just tie this one back in over here, and we'll tie those two up. And there we go. That'll work. So I can go and commission all of that. So there we go. So now we've got the makings of a bit of a tram route through here. It's not well, we probably have enough room to double track it, but I don't think the intent will be to double track this. This just won't be, I mean, at best it probably have about 3 stops on this, I think. And as long as there's some bypassing ability, well, we'll see. We'll see. They can bypass through the stations, of course. Okay, so that's something. One of the things that, with regards to the purchasing of some stuff, I decided that, and this was in the comments as well, the thing that really slows us down is the construction of the infrastructure, especially when you're talking little sections of roads and so on. And so what I thought I might do in this instance is actually just pay for the infrastructure and then have our construction crews build the city itself, the buildings, not the infrastructure. And so that I think is a good idea. So what are we going to do now is let me continue our motorway so that we can work on getting access over here somewhere. So when we're building the motorway, I do like switching on the wireframe just to make sure we are in fact running on appropriate slopes and trying to maintain fairly straight paths. And one thing that I could bear in mind is the ability for the rail to run through here, okay, and then another rail connection to join in on this side. We could, but we could do that all with like a bridge arrangement over here. And so for that reason, we probably need a bit of a interchange style bridge right over here. I don't think, do we have anybody that can, so if we're going to say, somewhere over here, yeah, let's do that. So if we do, oh, that's actually going to work. Okay, what I want to do is I want to raise this a little bit. Actually, I'll probably pay for this so it's done a little quicker. So the idea is if we raise it up like this a little bit, okay, and again on the other side. Yeah, so I like the idea of doing the interchanges like this. It's just a little bit more natural. It's cheaper to move some dirt around, and certainly would have been than to build all the kind of bridge structures. And so what you find is you do small little sections of bridge deck and a lot more of the other stuff. So now the idea is here. Actually, let's start it off with the bridge. Yeah, that's about right. So if we go from there to there, and we do a neighbor. Oh crap! I'm building it. Hang on. Let's unbuild it quickly. And we go with the neighbor right next to it. Like there. Is that, wow, look at that. I like it. It's a massive clearance. And then we can have, there can be proper rail and roads, probably double roads through here, to be honest. We can actually have an extended motorway kind of setup over here. We can do a pretty decent one. Okay, so I've stopped the building of that. Now, oh, this is a bridge. I don't want to do bridge. What I would want to do is I would want to do this. Excellent. Okay, so if we say We run this one down there, and then this one straight next to it. Oh man, look at that! Look at that! This has worked out really well. This has worked out really well. That's an awesome through section there. That's a massive interchange. Well, not a massive interchange. It's a fairly massive clearance. Oh, now I don't have 3 excavators on here. Come on. Really nothing? We're too far away. Okay, well this is the problem, right? We're probably going to end up paying for some more stuff due to this issue. Okay, I do like that. Let's make sure to add a little bit more here. Oh, there we go. See, there we go. Building the bridge. I don't know. I mean, this wasn't supposed to build the bridge, was it? So I'm almost tempted that for this one, do we run it completely straight? And then we turn it once we're down at the bottom? It's a little weird, actually. Let's run it straight for a while. Something like that. I'm like, oh crap, now I'm paying for it again. And then we start turning it. Okay, hang on. Let's stop that for now. I might end up building this, paying for this anyway, but I just want to make sure that we now kind of slowly turning it out into that direction. Yeah, that's the plan. So we'll bring this one out to about there, and we'll, oh, beautiful. Just about that much. There we go. Now we're turning it. Yeah, I like it. Turning it into this direction over here. I think I need to check where exactly. Excuse me. Where exactly I'm going to tie in with the border. See, I don't know how all of this always works, but anyway, that is looking pretty good now. And I've paid for this. See, I don't know how some of this stuff actually works. I think there's a bit of glitches. So if you're trying to do some of these things, it does become a little bit of a. So let's give it a little bit of a curve. We're gonna have to do a bit of an S curve, a double curve here. So let's not do it too aggressively. And then that looks beautiful. That looks beautiful, like I design roads or something for a living. Well, I kind of enjoy getting the right curvature out of a road. And if we do this one, oh, that's fine. That's fine. The gap's a little bigger in certain areas, but look at that. That's awesome. That is awesome. Now the intent is here. Well, we can start the construction of this. I may actually get the crews to get going on this. So start that. What's the clearance that we're looking at over here? That's a pretty sizable clearance. Not so much. Oh, I actually used a different style of bridge there, which is okay. I think the span on that side would have been, maybe we could have used a different one, but I'm comfortable with this one. There's enough span in there so that we can do multiple things in those little sections. What would typically be the case in conventionally, you would have actually built up a retaining wall, so an abutment right over here, so you wouldn't see these. There would be, the abutment would be, and then you would only probably see those two, maybe even just the one in the middle with slightly larger spans. But no, this isn't too unconventional. Maybe if we did do the arches, the same one we used on the other side over here, would have looked a little bit more natural right over there. But I'm quite comfortable with it. Now, what we need to do is I would like a rail through here. I would like some other stuff through there as well, the roads through there. So in terms of rail, I thought we'd be able to peel it off, and I'll peel it off from that side just to make sure we're running straight into that gap there. Yeah, I think that's going to be just fine. And now just want to make sure we're not running too much up the hill there. That's really not quite threading the needle, but I think that's fine. I think that's going to be fine. We're going to align it to the side of the road here, and we're just going to make sure that we do in fact get all the various pieces through here. So apologies for those of you who don't enjoy the road building as much as I do. So I think we're going to make room for a bit of resilience here. And so I was thinking we'll do a bit of a two-way, a bit of a motorway style bridge. And you know what, I was wondering, maybe we could actually squeeze them both under this one here. Probably not going to happen. Let's start it off a little bit this way. Yeah, something like that. If the new update was in, we would have been able to get these really tight together. But for the time being, we cannot do that. So let's see if we can. Yeah, no, we really just can't. We just can't make that work. So we'll have to do one on the one side and the other on the other side over here. So the intent will be a little something like this, maybe. I'm going to try and get them as parallel as possible, and then we'll have room for the rail on the other side, and we can do multiple rail sections through there. So now the intent is here that we try and aim for a smooth curve to go through the here, the little neck or whatever you would want to call it. Yeah, it goes through there fairly comfortably. So that's the plan. Can I do? Yeah. How about that? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Now, what we need to have a look at is how we're actually going to tie in our interchange over here. So what we could do is we could actually plan out that this becomes a slightly more substantial interchange by running a road into this direction. Can we get that a little smoother maybe? I don't mind it. Honestly, I don't mind it. Now, if this is in fact what we're going to do, should we plan ourselves a bit of a clover leaf here? The issue is if we're planning a clover leaf, it'll be a challenge for us to get the rail through here. That's the game. But I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of keen on doing it, guys. I'm kind of keen on getting a clover leaf going over here. So if we are doing a clover leaf, so we're saying that this guy comes in here. Now, the problem with that is that we'll potentially need to run something like this, and that's going to be way too steep. But I kind of like it. I like it. Let's work on it. The problem with working on it though is this. Now I've built it. Anyway, I'm not going to even worry about it. I'm not even going to worry about it. What I'll do is I'll just try and get a little bit of this going on here, so we can actually go around there. Honestly, frustrates me that happens. So where's my steep section here? That's not bad. So why does this continue to be a problem? Do I just need to... I just need to do a little bit of this? Should be. Oh yeah. That's not bad. If I put it down now, I'm going to pay for it. So let's not pay for it. Just this. This is going to be a challenge. If I do that, okay, and then we do. Actually, we need to, do this. And what we'll do is we'll tie in like so. It's not the cleanest, but it's not the worst either. Ooh, it looks a little it looks a little funny over here, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. So now people will be swooping straight over there and into our new high-density town over here. Of course, as part of this, we'll also need to bring in the other angle here, and that one can actually. We probably would want to tie it in all the way over there. So let's actually start it from that perspective. And now, of course, we've got to. Okay, maybe we're getting a little close to this. Maybe what we do is we start it just a tad away. And come around here. Of course, now we need the excavator, now we need to pay for stuff again, and there we go, paying for stuff. It's really difficult to make use of the kind of terraforming component. Okay, so if we do I think that's about right. So if we do that, we should be able to do our double curve there. So let's go back to this, get our double curve in place. Yeah, that's a nice transition into there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. There's a fair bit of room here actually, so it's a pretty sizable interchange. And I like it next to this area here. But yeah, it means our plans for the rail is going to be problematic. It definitely means our plans for the rail is going to be problematic. Now, so in order for us, we now need to make sure that we also allow for the loop to come in over here. And I'm just thinking, I want to try and maintain a very similar size to it. So how far did we go? It was just about out of it here. So if we do a little something like that, and now we need to do a bit of this. Will that be about the same size? Just on that? Yeah, I think it's going to be about exactly the same size. That's good. Now, again, I'm going to have to do this, and so I'm paying for sections again, and don't quite understand why that is an issue. But the intent is that we run a bit of a hill up here. Something like that. And try and almost actually almost. Look at that. Look at that. I'm just going to build it. I'm not going to be fussed with it anymore. That is a pretty nice little curve there. A pretty nice little curve. It's even better than this one. It's even better than that one. And now we need to, and this should be a pretty straightforward. I want to try and plan it out first. I've kind of made my peace with the paying for this piece. I'm going to try and keep them at approximately the same. So I'm going to trim this back a little so that we try and do a little bit of this. Something like that. Ooh, I'm not too fond of what's happening right over here. Let's remove that a little, trim that back a tad, and what we'll do is we'll make it a more, a nicer little curve. So that's the right turn there. Now we have to do the other side. Our first clover leaf, guys. I'm quite happy with it actually. It's looking pretty good. And apologies, we're not doing much more than our clover leaf here, but I like it. I like it. Have we built the entire thing now? Just that one little section that's already been commissioned for construction that's not been built. Okay, so if we do a very similar thing over here, just want to give ourselves a little bit of spot over there somewhere, and then what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do a very similar piece right here somewhere, and now we'll try and tie them together. But again, I'm going to have to auto build, and so we're paying for some stuff. I really wish you could separately do the terraforming to the infrastructure construction piece, because that does become problematic. We end up building everything this way. Okay, so let's see. I'm hoping that that's a pretty good. Can we? That's quite interesting. Let's try it from the other side. I actually want to do a little too steep of an incline, eh? Really? We can't get up there, but we can do the entire thing? From that side, we can do the entire thing? Oh, we can't. So there is a little bit of an issue here. Let's see if we can't deal with that a little bit better. I think we've had a bit of an issue here. So we might not be able to get that to actually work up here. Let's trim that back out, and we'll see about. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Let's see. We should be able to get a little bit more going here. That's interesting. Oh, you know what? It might be because we're a little close to it. Anyway, let's try something here. If we do that, and we do this, yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. And now it'll work. And it's actually kind of the right angle, isn't it? Seems a pretty big loop though. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger than the other one, but I think it's okay. It's a little differently connected on that side. Now let's try, just need to do this again. It's a little tedious. Back over here, I think, yeah, that's about the one. We're gonna do just a little section like that, and then we're gonna do all the way up. Yeah, that's fine. I just want to make sure that we tie it off at about the same location. There we go. So something like that. Now we'll quickly do a little bit of, and of course, building all of that again. There we go. Get our cloverleaf on. Getting our cloverleaf on. Getting our cloverleaf on. So this is an actual proper highway piece. Proper highway piece. So if I look at that should be quite workable. There we go. Look at that. Nice. They're pretty equal in size. Slight issues with some of these angles, but I must say I'm pretty happy with it. Now let's get a little. And again, let's go with the planning first. Try at least to go with the planning. About here is the spot. Oh yeah, gonna run it alongside there. Curve it out that way. Yeah, it's a little bit of a. That's not bad. That's not bad. And then what we'll do is the final little section, and we have to always kind of start it from this side. Come on, there we go. There we go. That's not a bad interchange. This one is trying to, well, this is obviously the bigger of the two roads, but wow, look at this interchange. It's a massive one. So yeah, I'm not too sure how we're gonna deal with the rail. We're gonna have to have a look at that. If we run through there, we should be able to, yeah, that's gonna work quite nicely. And we should be able to tie it in Actually, that is... It's... where will we do it? Right over here? If we do it right over there, though, we'll need to trim this back a little. And I'm not sure that will work. Oh, it does. It does work quite nicely. There we go, guys. That's our interchange. Look at this. Look at this. A little lumpy. We can put some trees and stuff in there. A little lumpy. What's happening over here? Are we... What? How come? How come we're clipping? I'm quite disappointed that we're clipping. I'm quite disappointed that we're clipping. I mean, we planned this out fairly nicely, I thought. Well, I'm going to build the rest of that. Now, the question is, should I replace this bridge? It's a lot of money. But I'm interested in replacing this bridge with the other, this one, the arch bridge. So if you do the arch bridge through here, yeah, look at that, look at that. The arch bridge is much better suited for this. Much better suited. I should have done that in the first instance. I'm going to do it. We are getting to a point where our infrastructure is tip-top shape because we've got tons of money. So doing that, now look at this. Now look at that. Now it doesn't even want to work. Really? Really? After all of that, doesn't want to work? Let's try the other one first. The other one works. So that's fine. That's okay. And then we still have room on this side. Now can we... It doesn't want to work? Why not? It should really be working. I mean, that's clear. That's very good there. It's going to be all clear. Otherwise, we'll just have to... This is exactly aligned, right? Let's try... Oops, that's not quite the spot. Let's try it again. Honestly. That is so weird. Well, look at this one from this side. From that side, at least it looks workable. So what I'm tempted to do is add a little... Yeah, you're slightly higher there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim that back and just see if that actually makes the difference so that we can maybe start it just a little bit back. Right? Yeah, there we go. That makes the difference. Now I just want to make sure that we're doing the appropriate distances and things like that. Okay, let's start it again. So right over here. Yeah, so there we go. That's the one. That's the one. There we go. Now we can quickly just tie these back in. There we go. And that should all work. Go ahead and pay for that. Look at that. There we go. Look at this interchange, guys. Look at this interchange. We will have such awesome accessibility over here. And what I was kind of wondering is we could run one on this one on that one. Or we could roundabout it over here and then tie in slightly differently. Maybe a roundabout over here is probably the better of the two. This is being built. I like this span much better. Now let's quickly have a look at the rail through here. Now we're definitely not going to do rail through here anymore. There's just so much stuff. So what I was thinking, if we are running a rail through here, we're interested in getting a rail in over this way. So I could actually, yeah, the ideal would be to have another little crossing, but what we could do is we could just could cross the rail over here. So if I go rail bridge, actually let's do the same thing with rail. Let's do the same thing with rail. So let's do this. Let's go, let's assume we're gonna, and this one will be, pretty straightforward. You know what? I can't actually raise this up quite high enough, I think. So the intent is we'll do our rail crossing over here somewhere. Will that actually work? What's our heights like over here? I'm not sure I've got the heights here that I had in mind. Actually doing this ourselves. Okay, so with that in mind, can we actually get the bridge across here? So rail, again, I would like the big speedy rail. Oh, that's something that worked here. I'm comfortable with that. Now the next one. Oh, it'll work. It'll work. Look at that. It's actually properly kind of adjusted for it. And I believe we've got the clearance. Yeah, that clearance is fine. It's about as low as the clearance you would want to go, but I believe that clearance is going to be just fine. So with that in mind, we can then go ahead and tie in our rail connection over here. We can get one of these guys to come out this way, and we can go ahead and tie in our rail connection. Nice. That is actually working really well. So we'll do a little bit of this, and we'll go ahead and tie that guy over here. If we tie that in, is he going to get back to the other side at some point? We need to maybe do another crossover on this one. Oh, we've got a train running through here. Excellent. This is actually not quite what I had in mind, unless we tie these around through here. I might do that. I might do that so that this guy can then be an appropriate. And then what we'll do is we'll actually just run it straight from over here somewhere. There we go. There we go. Now, I've kind of had the idea that I'm going to do. Anyway, I think something like this is about right, but we're probably going to have to cross it over there again. So maybe that's not quite what I had in mind. Or actually, what we do is we run it over this way. Yeah, okay. I think that's about right. That's about right. And then this guy, let's maintain a little bit of a bypass over here. Wow, there's a fair bit of infrastructure work here that didn't end up being. Interesting. We could. I was just thinking maybe we could even squeeze the train in through there, but I don't think that's gonna actually happen. That's not gonna work. Okay, so let's curve it out to go. We'll curve it out that way to go and meet that whatever rail connection we're gonna do over there. But certainly, I think our rail moves over here has been pretty good. That's a bit of a tight turn there. These two will tie up over here and maybe, yeah, I think that's fine. That's fine. To be honest, we should probably have gone underneath there. It'll be so much better. This is exactly the same thing, but the idea is really not to allow that, but the idea is to instead allow a little bit of this. Really? How come? Can we do it from over there? Should be able to. Yeah, that's okay. Let's make sure to do a little bit of that. Now if I do this, I'm going to pay for everything, which I'm not against as a whole. But yeah, we'll need to find out what we're going to do with this little section over here. That is actually, I like it. There's a lot of infrastructure, guys. A lot of infrastructure. Okay, I'm going to park the rail for a little bit and just sort out what we're going to do with our access point in here. What we can do is we can just have this as another kind of a roundabout right over here. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a pretty big roundabout. But if we go, we'll need to do a little something like this, and then to make sure we get these about equidistant, I think, right? Equidistant. It's It's not great. Okay, so if we go from about the middle there, actually, what we'll do, we'll go from edge to edge there, something like this. Yeah, I think that's going to be about right. And then we'll do the roundabout. Then we'll do that piece. And then we'll do the roundabout again. And that's going to be about our roundabout, right? It's a little bit of an oval about. My goodness. Can I... Well, what we should do is do that. Actually, that's the right thing to do. So let's do that. Trim that one back. Get these back all tied up. And then what we'll do is do that. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Now, with that in mind, now the thing is, I'm thinking we'll have one road that goes up here, straight for a little section, and then we'll go ahead and tie it in. Can we get it to tie in? Yes, look at that. Look at that. I like that. And then this guy will come off straight here yet again for a little bit, and then we'll tie it in like so. There we go. Nice. This means we have a pretty nice area here that we can still fill in. And what I was thinking is we should probably see about this connection through here, which we may do a little bridge for. I think we should do a little bridge for it. It might get busy, so let's do a little bridge for it right over here. So let's extend our, actually in this one, because it's a bit of a rural road, we'll do that one. Just in there, and now give me this bridge. Give me this bridge. 1, 2, 3, I believe. And we'll run it across. Now I just want to make sure that, come on. Oh. Doesn't quite want to play ball here, does it? Try and make it shorter. Just does not want to play ball. I think that's about right. Let's just do that, and then we'll drop it down all the way to about there. Still quite keen to see how the curved bridges start to work. Anyway, but that's okay. Almost a curved bridge like that. And now what we can do is we can just continue with the whole rural road section. We'll do a little bit of this, curve it out. We'll make sure that we get, and actually off of here I'll probably do so that we have the lighting on there. Now, where is that? No, it's a bit. Anyway, we're not going to have that perfectly straight there. So let's do this, and then from there, just sit back. We go back to a bit of a more rural road, and there we go. And that's our connections, our road connections done. I think I'll go ahead and pay for that. Get that up and running. That means we can actually start the work over here and get this town up and running. And I also gone about, okay, let's quickly finish that section off. So let me do that. So just if you tick that, then there we go. There, the whole thing just starts building itself up. There's our bridge coming in over here. It's not too bad over there. We've got room for some additional crossings if we should have wanted to do. It's a little clippy, but it's okay. We can still add some extra rails underneath there if we wanted to. That connection is being built. These connections into town is being built. So that's good. And we can extend town over here quite nicely, actually, with additional, probably another tram station somewhere over here, and might terminate it with a little bit of a loop and then send it back that way. Something like that is kind of what I'm thinking over here. Not too massive, because we need to bear in mind that we need to get heating out over here as well. We might have to do something else for that. Also, that's pretty cool. This is under construction at the moment from our teams. I think these guys, they've left. I don't know how it works. Are they just kind of deciding that they're going to hang around here for a while and then they go away? I have no idea how that works. Anyway, let's switch off the wireframe for a second and quickly have a look at our fine work. Guys, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. This has been a slightly different episode. We've spent a bit of time and effort on our infrastructure. I am really loving this corridor, this infrastructure corridor that we are building from the one side of the map all the way to the other side of the map. And I must say I'm quite a fan of this interchange. It's a little lumpy here. I might try and smooth that out a little bit, get a few trees in there, but all in all, man, this interchange is looking pretty rad, and I think it'll from an access point of view, of course, that interchange is going to have nice access into town over here, and then we can see where this one goes, this motorway section from here. Let's open the map quickly, and if we okay, that's not quite what I had in mind. Clicked on the map instead of trying to actually open it up wider. Oh, look at that. That can run straight over there. Oh no, that's the one that we've got. This is the one that we're looking at. But we could run this one down here. The idea of having a central port with right in the middle of the map with big infrastructure running through it, I love it. And having multiple thing connections through here, we could really have that motorway come down here. This one is now a straight shot in to this border right there, and then this one we can run down here. Obviously, when we get to the border, we will have to split it off to multiple ones because we can't run two lines. Well, we can run two lines into the border. So yeah, I'm actually liking that quite a lot. So the additional airport over here would make so much sense because that's one airport right over there and then another airport over here. It means we've got two airports in country that are pretty distance apart. We could probably do another airport somewhere over here and maybe another airport somewhere over there. So we'll have like an airport per quadrant kind of thing. But we'll have to see how that goes. The Bansk itself over here is a pretty big city, and then this is our industrial and our industrial slots over here. What we could do is we could look at a large section of farming somewhere over here. This could be a more rural farming area. We could even do some bridge, some crossings over here. But yeah, our infrastructure over here is old. This really is the proper new infrastructure. We started it off over there, and it's running all the way through here with some big bridges through there, and we've got a fair bit of rail running alongside it. So that section through there is going to be pretty cool. I like it. I like it. And what we could do, we could even split the rail from the motorway and get the rail to go down this way, so that we don't constantly have the rail and the motorway next to each other all the time, because that causes us the need to do bridges and things. But yeah, I like it. And then maybe, yeah, I'm keen on getting this town to grow around here and getting the next airport maybe somewhere in here. Yeah, I like that. And then we can also have our industrial, our aircraft industry, aircraft building industry running in this area over here, and we'll produce our own helicopters and the likes. But yeah, our nation is looking nice. I'm loving the nation, even though I have to say so myself. I am loving the nation. It's looking really good. So let's close this out and have one quick look around the map, and then I think that's what I'm going to call this episode. Let's have a quick look and see if how this is going. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. This is what I want to see. Pause the game. 30th of January, we had almost 3,000 births. We had less than half the deaths than the births. So it means we've got some sort of work sorted out with the heating. Heating is not the issue anymore. And then we've got the escapes down to 20, which is and look at that, only 97 people living with their parents. But that number is really low. We need to bounce back. What was our actual, what did happen with our actual population? Now, over the month, it's been fine. Let's have a look at this year. Our population probably had our population this year, it's the first month of the year. Last year, what happened with our population? We had a bit of a dip and then we came back. So we went under 60,000 for a while there. That's quite interesting. That is quite interesting. All time, yeah. Look at that. All time. Look at this. Look at this. We went up to, yeah, I know. We went over 70,000. Dipped down. Whoa, 57. So we are stabilizing. It was a pretty bad one there, and I think a lot of that was to do with our clothing shortage. It's quite interesting how this does it, but I do love the little the stuff that you have to deal with. I do love it. I do love it. Okay, let's do a bit of fly through here. Their bunts should be okay. Everybody here should be. Maybe I didn't quite fill up some of these because some of these other ones are still filled up and there's no problems there. These guys saying they've got any specific issues? Still 5 people not able to get clothing. Right here? Honestly? You should be able to get clothing from there quite comfortably. Oh, these guys down here might be struggling a little bit. No, there's stuff over there as well. You should really not be struggling to get clothing. A couple of people always will have a bit of a problem. There wouldn't have been a worker there when they arrived or something like that. But as long as it's not major, we should be okay. How are the guys going over here? Again, it's dropped pretty low. Yet again over here. Still clothing? Cannot be, guys. We've got clothing available in so many spots. That's a school. That's a school. We have clothing available now really everywhere over here. Do we have another shop? Yeah, there's a shop over there. Clothing's available over there. Clothing's available over here. Clothing's available over here. Clothing's available over there. So really, you have no reason to be saying that you can't get access to clothing. It's a little weird that's been a bit of an issue. So we'll have to continue to keep an eye on that. If we come on over here, I think these guys are all okay. They're not complaining about clothing at all. Even though they've got fewer shops that sells clothing. It's just maybe bigger shops. Maybe it's a matter of our shops aren't big enough to actually accommodate the population. And even with the multiple ones, it's still a bit of a problem. Maybe that is in fact the case. These look pretty good over here. I like it. I like it. Do we have lots of tourists? Let's have a quick look at the tourists and then we'll kind of end it there. I know I've been talking about ending it for a while now. So if we look at our tourist industry, we're getting a fair bit of Soviet tourists. Intending to enter and entering and then returning. No premature ends, which is good. 10 have died, 11 have died, and then Western tourists, similarly, we're getting 120 coming in, tourists returned, no one prematurely ending the trip, but there's been a death or two, mainly just the one there. So it's not bad, it's not bad. Tourist industry is looking pretty good. Obviously our finances is awesome. Look at where the dollar values are going, and that's only from the tourism industry, only. I'm pretty keen to build our next airport on the other side there, and I don't necessarily think we need to expand Ironski at all. How's our power doing? Yeah, we've got tons of spare capacity, I think over here. As long as we have a constant flow of workers, I think we should have a fair bit of spare capacity all the time. I like the fact that some people are in fact driving. We've got a number of cars on the network. I just want to see if these guys arrive at work, whether that boosts the this number a little bit. Do we make more power? Not really. So I think we're kind of capped on what we're doing with the power. We'll have to keep an eye on that though. Now, if we look at cars on the network, we've got 501 car owners in our nation of 62,000 people. So it's only the elite of the elite that's driving a car, and it's a bit of a incentive to be a loyal citizen of the nation and not escaping. But yeah, all in all, looking pretty good. Things are looking good. So that's almost been a bit of a tour, infrastructure and tour little section. All of this should be working. There's tons of stuff happening over here, and we are building our way through a lot of this. This is all set up. What I've also done, before we go, what I've also done is I've looped the whole thing around. So that effectively means that any one of these storages can fill this one or that one or this one, or be filled from this one or from this one. It's quite a good one. It's quite a good one. I do like what we're doing here, and I can't wait to set it up. I think one of the first things that we're going to start importing here is going to be bauxite and then we're going to start building planes or making aluminium and building planes from there. We'll have to set this up, probably get a few more construction offices somewhere over here, and they will then go and get their stuff all the way over here, which is starting to become a little bit out of the way. So we'll have to see how that works. But anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I know we've only done infrastructure in this episode. I hope you've enjoyed the planning out of this and some of the discussions about the future of our nation. If you have some name ideas for areas, interchanges, this town, the next town, the new airport that we're going to build over here, if you've got ideas of what additional towns and where they should go on the map, please leave them all in the comments. I do really appreciate the input from you guys in terms of planning out what we're going to do next and where this nation is really going to go to. And I do like the idea that we're actually doing a bit of a natural growth. I'm quite this whole thing that I did over here with just a little bit of added clothing industry over here. I think I'm going to continue to do little pockets of industry instead of massive industrial complexes like I've done over here. I'm not a big fan of this kind of setup, and unless you've had like massive farms over here, this kind of thing doesn't really make that much sense, and this makes so much more sense along the railway line and getting the imports and the stuff going. I do love it. I do love it. Guys, thank you so much again. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.